ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Ahsoka Recap. All right, guys, it's time to get into the Ahsoka Recap. Warning, spoilers ahead. This is the final episode of the season, episode 8. Chase has got something to say about it.
It was the worst one. It was the worst one. The gripes of wrath have landed.
You owe me a shot.
I do. Because fucking Balin didn't do shit.
He didn't do shit.
He didn't do a goddamn lick of dick, dude. Neither did fucking, what's her name? Shin?
Shin.
She didn't do shit either.
This.
And I was like, what the fuck? At least that did some. Who the fuck were the Jesus stash? The fucking Jedi Mount Rushmore fucking dorks.
Okay, those were the gods. There was the Father and the Son to the right, and then
the Holy Spirit was all fucking off.
We're drinking some holy water now.
Yeah.
But the daughter was on the left, but her head was gone. So maybe there was some symbolism there. But once we get Brent on, I think he can help us break that down a little bit more. But I watched a couple breakdowns too, so I kind of get an idea. But there's a lot of talk about the Father, the Son, and the daughter. And
this fucking Siri, you spy bastard. She's
whoa.
Yeah, I was like,
quit listening to me.
Fucking whore.
Was it recording everything we were
Yeah.
saying? So episode 8 recap. This is the final episode of the season, and your takeaways are. Do we want to do like a little breakdown, or do you want to just get into your gripes about it? Well,
my gripes happened in chronological order.
Okay, we start. Where does the episode start? Now that I'm thinking about it, I was watching so many recaps, and I'm just like, So
my gripes start with the sword. When the sisters fucking make her Super Saiyan and give her the sword.
Okay, no, I know what you're talking about.
That's where my memory / the episode starts.
Okay, so they have to basically Ezra builds a lightsaber in the beginning.
That part was hella cool. I liked that.
And he just like real quick was just like boop 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 boop. Where did he get the kyber crystal? We're all trying to figure that out.
And what's the fucking Hu Yang got kyber crystals on deck out of nowhere? Didn't like that.
I'm gonna bring up this breakdown so we can kind of like.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Boss, and this is a breakdown of Star Wars Ahsoka Episode 8, the finale, the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. A title that let's dive into the episode.
Yeah, there was a reference to the line "The Witch in the Wardrobe." Did you notice that when the intro title was there? It was like,
I only got it by the title. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, this is the part you're talking about. You're like, fuck that. So, it opens with the ship. And
I never noticed the markings on the bottom
by
of the
a
ship.
center dividing line formed by the fortress and the fold of the Chimera. Its underbelly patterned as it was in Rebels. Thrawn order.
That's cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he points out a lot of cool shit.
Enoch to dispatch 2 TIE fighters.
Right, okay, so they dispatch the TIE fighters to go get the jet, go get Ahsoka them, but he only dispatches 2. And you're like,
he just wants to fuck with him. Like, why wouldn't you want to? If you want to kill him, then kill him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, why not just get rid of him?
That doesn't make any sense.
Like, but it's like a calculated risk, right? So he's like, I know I can lose 2 TIE fighters, but everything else, like, but you made the point, like, if they sent like 15 of them,
they're fucked.
There's no way.
Because there's 2 Jedis lifting the thing up and 1 half Jedi piloting it. They'd have been all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool references. There's references to Thrawn and Anakin. Obviously, he knows who Anakin is.
Yeah.
And then we see here, this is where
shadows.
Where she turns super. They turn her Super Saiyan.
Yeah, you hear that spooky echo following it? Of shadows. Sounding like the voice of Night Sister spirits already being invoked for this ritual. They chant.
Do you pledge yourself to the sisterhood, to the magics?
Oh, I didn't get that either. She's already in the gang. What do you mean, do you pledge yourself? She's already about that action.
She's proven herself, but I don't think she's been like fully initiated.
Like jumped in.
It. Yeah. But they obviously think she's worthy at this point.
And I do like too that in Mando she showed her fighting prowess. Remember, because she was the one with the spear, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like she's a badass.
Yeah. She knows how to fight. She knows how to scrap. So, but they give her the super
Your
sword.
life?
Yes, this is the same exact Night Sister baptismal creed that Mother Talzin spoke to Asajj Ventress in Clone Wars Season 4, Episode 19, Massacre.
Do you pledge yourself to the sisterhood,
Oh, I do remember
to
that.
the magics and the old ways? Do you abandon your old life for this new one?
I do.
Your loyalty, your
What's up, my dude?
Asajj Ventress was the death of...
We're good now, right?
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Noise. All right. So, what are you overall positive, negative views on the episode?
The finale. That shit was fucking fire, bro.
Chase has got a lot of gripes. That's why. So I thought, okay, so I'm not as mad about it as he is either, but it leaves a lot of doors open. That's for sure, right?
Which those like cliffhanger episodes, they're gonna do that. I get it. I guess there's just so much in between that I was like, I was so hyped coming into it because every episode was getting better and better and better, and I felt like they let off the gas for the last episode. Am I crazy for that?
I won't say you're crazy because everyone has their own opinion, but for
but
me,
you're wrong.
no, I'm not. I would never say you're wrong on you having your opinion about something. Absolutely not. But just so much of the implications that throughout the entire episode, I don't want to just skip all over the place, but like starting from the beginning, when they showed the Night Sister, which you guys just went over before I joined, because when they got the Sword of Talzin, bro, I lost it. I was like,
okay, so
fucking cool.
Please go over what that sword is, because that's actually my first gripe of wrath was that they pulled they pulled it out of thin air.
The gift of shadows.
Yeah, it's a gift of shadow. That I'm not sure if you guys got to that part in the video that you're watching of that dude. He's awesome. He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, he's super dope.
But yeah, so Mother Talzin of the Dathomiri was like the head honcho on Dathomir before General Grievous took down Dathomir. And Mother Talzin used the Sword of Talzin to fight with Mace Windu. Ultimately, she then eventually lost to Mace Windu.
Which ain't no shame because Mace Windu is one of the big dick swingers of the whole universe, right?
Massive dick swinger.
Yeah.
But she didn't die technically. She eventually died trying to save Maul to General Grievous. And since then, like that sword is like.
Wait, why was the Empire fucking with Dathomir but Darth Maul ended up being on the Empire side?
So it wasn't because of Darth Maul. It was, I'm not sure if you guys remember Asajj Ventress, Dooku's like assassin apprentice.
Yeah. The ball-headed one.
Yeah, so they tracked Asajj Ventress after they tried to like pretty much put a hit out on Count Dooku. So Asajj Ventress also was training Savage Opress. So during the Clone Wars, she was like, "Boop, it's time," and Asajj Ventress and Savage Opress like turned on Count Dooku and they started fighting. Dooku got away. Eventually, Savage Opress was killed by Palpatine, and then they tracked Asajj Ventress to Dathomir. And so once that happened, they sent an entire Separatist fleet to Dathomir, and then that's the first time we see the undead come into play. Because
so my question
Mother
was,
Talzin,
it seems like they're like that's infighting, right? These like it would seem to me that they were on the same side, but then they end up fighting.
So Dooku betrayed Asajj Ventress. After she served her purpose, he tried to kill her. She got away. And then Are you like asking about Maul as well?
So that's why the Republic was fighting her and her people, was because she was an enemy of the Empire at that point. Like, why would they slaughter all?
Well,
of
the witches were
Dathomir?
kind of on their own. Had their own.
Yeah. So the witches,
agenda.
they weren't like against the Jedi. They weren't for the Separatists. They just made alliances to help better them. Does that make sense? They were kind of like a, hey, whatever suits us better.
Yeah, but why would the Empire go after him then?
Because Asajj Ventress tried to kill Dooku.
Oh, okay. That's what I was saying. Was that like that conflict painted their whole world an enemy kind of thing?
Yeah. So ever since Asajj Ventress tried to kill Dooku, like they just sent a fleet of Separatists to just go wipe them all out.
Okay, so this sword was super badass because she was
super badass.
Okay, how did they pull it out of thin air?
It's like just like anything with the Night Sister magic. I'm not sure how versed you are on the like Jedi Survivor and everything, like with Marin. Okay, yeah, so they're able to just like summon shit like that through the dark magic and dark magic, shadow magic, whatever you want to call it, green magic. Yeah, the Night Sisters are huge.
Okay, so then, but the material of the sword, like, it kind of bothered me because, again, I don't know shit about shit, but it was told to me
it's kind of like
the
only
only thing that could stand
right?
up to a lightsaber was Beskar steel or like another saber of sort. But this is made of some sort of metal, and the green fire thing is cool. That's like spiritual, like the dark energy. I dig that. Or witch energy.
That's why it is able to stand up to it. If it was just like a normal sword, it would just get fucked up. Okay. But due to the imbuement of that magic, it's able to stand up to a lightsaber.
Check off that.
When Clotho first steps up to Morgan, we hear voices and whispers of past
Night
Sisters working their way into 90s Ghost.
It was imbued with that Night Sister magic. It's almost toe to toe with that lightsaber.
They conjure this sword.
As you saw, like she cut fucking Ahsoka's lightsaber.
The blade of Talzin.
The blade of Talzin is the weapon carried by Mother Talzin when she dueled Mace Windu in Clone Wars Season 6, Episode 9, The Disappeared, Part 2.
Do you see what we're watching, or do you want me to screenshot?
Oh shit, yeah, I see it.
Talzin conducts a ritual on the moon Zardosa Styx to extract the living force from Queen Julia. Julia, you bet. Talzin was hoping to become more powerful than any Jedi or Sith. Jar Jar helps in this episode, but Talzin ends up dissipating with some green mist, and she would actually later go on to die while trying to save her son Maul from capture in the Son of Dathomir comic. But this hilt of the blade of Talzin has a pale white color and a black pommel, which do match the color tones of Talzin's face and the other Great Mother faces. Perhaps her entire spiritual essence lives on inside this weapon. But why do they reward Morgan with the sword? Perhaps these fates foresee Morgan having to die a warrior's death and sacrifice herself so that the rest of them can escape. This blessing is a curse in disguise. That might be why it's called the Gift of Shadows. And isn't it interesting that between Morgan and Sabine and Ahsoka, the rescuers of the people who are stranded on this planet are the ones who have to trade places with them? We hear the classic Star Wars klaxon alarm blaring. And 2 TIE fighters flank Thrawn as they depart. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so. Yeah, the battle was pretty epic with Ahsoka, and
it was so badass. It was so well done.
That was like the best fight, I think, of probably the series. Like, you can maybe debate that with like maybe a couple Balin.
Yeah,
Ahsoka
or when she battled the kind of like zombie Inquisitor guy.
Yeah.
Pretty badass.
But that battle was like, and then I love how Ahsoka just samurai fucking kills people.
Yeah,
and they even make a reference to her being a Ronin.
Yeah,
right. Which I was like,
Thrawn makes that reference. Yeah, he said like
he called her.
This is where a Ronin like you belongs, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping you guys picked up on that.
And it was kind of cool that he was like, I could see you going over to the dark side like your master, because I know who he is.
Like going on what Chris was just saying, like the Ronin, because what was the Jedi like originally designed to be like whenever they were designing Star Wars?
Right.
The samurai.
Yeah.
And then when they brought that up, I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Confirmed. You know, like and a Ronin,
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know, is a samurai without like
Without
a
a
master.
yeah.
So it was pretty cool that they did a little samurai tie-in there, because like she always gave me samurai vibes, especially the way she like kills people. When she killed the Inquisitor, it was like one of those like, you know, where you like wait for a second,
And like
and
in the
then someone
anime when
dies.
they like get sliced and then there's a pause, and then their body falls. Like, like gets sliced in half.
It's just
like,
so
who got hit, you know?
the fight was just so fluid. I forget the actress's name. She didn't use a stunt double, dude. She fucking.
What?
She's a martial
did so
artist. Yeah, she's legit.
And I think that's kind of one of my gripes too, right? She's such a badass. They played her up as a badass, and I get it. She's kind of sacrificial lamb for Thrawn's plan, but they killed her off within 20 minutes of giving her that badass sword and these new kind of fucking Dark Sister energies that I was like, oh man, like that was kind
Me
of
and Shan.
It was kind
That
of
was
a
one of
bummer
our,
to see her
like,
go.
yeah.
Like,
It was a nitpick for me. It's more of a nitpick, but it was like we kind of wanted more of her
yeah.
because she just got this fucking badass power. Because she wasn't like a normal Night Sister. Like the ones that we see in this episode, like this series, are like the original like Dathomiri, who've like been here, like almost around the time of the Mortis. So it's like
you sent me that. What is the Mortis?
So it's the original gods of like the Star Wars universe: the father, the son, and the sister, and the daughter.
Rushmore folks.
Yeah, that one. And yeah.
so we get to Ezra's lightsaber, right? And he's building the lightsaber in the ship, right? And this guy brings up some good points. I'm just gonna play this real fast.
Crystals handy? I just think it's a bit odd because Hu Yang, of anybody, would know that the Jedi pairing with their kyber crystals is a sacred process that determines how well the lightsaber channels their connection to the Force. But, you know, whatever. Sabine and Ezra tell Hu Yang that Kanan Jarrus taught Ezra how to build a lightsaber, and Hu Yang remembers Kanan.
I told you, I taught almost every youngling at the Jedi Temple, including your master. Clever boy Caleb was, very curious. A little shy, perhaps.
Yes, he calls him Caleb, as before he used the alias of Kanan Jarrus during the Rebellion era, he went by Caleb Doom. Hu Yang also says of Caleb's shyness,
Who could blame him? Those were troubling times.
Yeah, this is great because it acknowledges how weird it must have been to be a youngling during the Clone Wars, which I really appreciated this season of Ahsoka Episode 5 exploring how messed up it is that the Jedi deployed child soldiers. And remember, the season premiere of Bad Batch shows the heartbreaking moment Caleb Doom lost his master Depa Billaba, and how the member of the Bad Batch, Hunter, allowed Caleb to escape after Caleb did an insane Morpheus-style force leap across a waterfall that Ezra nearly recreates this episode. Hu Yang presents Ezra with a specific blade emitter with his disc around it, matching the one that Kanan Jarrus, aka Caleb, had at the end of his hilt. Hu Yang says,
I had two of those. Kanan took the one, the other I held onto in case he ever needed it.
Now Ezra's blade is blue once again, like his very first saber, bringing him full circle with the very first kyber crystal that he got during his moment with Yoda in the Lothal Jedi Temple that was technically the world between worlds early on in Rebels. Hu Yang reveals that Ahsoka became concerned that Sabine was training to be a Jedi for the wrong reasons.
At the end of the war, the Empire purged the entire surface of the planet, killing hundreds of thousands.
Her family?
We're all lost, sadly.
Yes, he's referring to the Night of a Thousand Tears, first mentioned in the Mandalorian Season 1 finale, and then shown in the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 5 when Moff Gideon's forces dropped fusion bombs on the planet. And we learn that this happened at the end of the Galactic Civil War, so sometime around the Battle of Endor, maybe before the final battle of that war, the Battle of Jakku, that Moff Gideon pulled a real shitty late sucker punch on Mandalore. And Ezra asks about Sabine's family because, yeah, he spent a lot of time with the Wren family in the first couple episodes of Rebel Season 4.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a little breakdown of her history on Mandalore, and she's just as invested as other Mandalorians.
So one of my non-gripes is how she did the thing that I've been fucking talking about the whole season. All I wanted to see was her use the saber and the guns at the same time. And I thought that was super cool, but it was also cool when they were doing like the team fight thing, and then like Ahsoka kind of called the play. She was like, you suck with the lightsaber. Use your blasters. like, we'll take care of the saber shit. You fucking shoot him. And I was like, that's fucking cool. She was like a quarterback. You know what I mean? So that was super cool.
Use your blaster. Stop fucking around with a lightsaber.
But okay, another gripe. You gotta see eye to eye on this. She couldn't even bring up her lightsaber at first or throughout the whole show, and then she's able to yeet fucking Ezra like 70 feet. I was like, okay, dude, no way. Like, if they showed her like steadily build up her force skills, then I would have believed it. But that was like,
it happened really quick.
yeah, that was yucky.
Like, so it starts when they're like trying to get into the ship, right? Like, or into the temple or whatever that spire is, right? And they're fucking the in classic TIE fighter or classic stormtrooper fashion, they can't hit.
They can't hit shit.
They can't hit shit, right? And they're dodging all the fucking laser blasts, and then they finally get into that spire where they run into the stormtroopers, and then the fight ensues with Sabine, Ezra, and Ahsoka going against these death troopers, or the zombie night troopers, and then they get resurrected by the Night Sisters, which you finally see like the actual like resurrection happen. But they seem unkillable at first.
Yeah.
But then they get killed.
And there's kind of like inconsistencies with them that pissed me off too. Like, if you can resurrect these kind of like zombie dudes so easily, why didn't they do that with the Inquisitor one? Just like bring them back.
Yeah.
I thought once they kind of die, they get turned to dust. Like, and then the amount of like, sometimes they attacked, sometimes they didn't. And that whole sequence was like, that was kind of weird. And like when they would like be dumb, sometimes they were dumb as fuck. But remember in the episode prior, they had all their agency.
Yeah.
The whole time they were like, oh, retreat. So you're like, okay, they're like, they still shoot like stormtroopers, but they're like,
this time they seem like zombie-ish.
Yeah, this time they're just like
right?
dumb brains. Like,
yeah.
Kind of, which play one or the other. You know what I mean?
So
like,
are they really real people and then they get resurrected from the dead, or are they dead and then get resurrected again?
that's kind of what I think is going on, right?
So all those stormtroopers were alive, and then they got brought back.
Okay.
So they bring back the very basic. So during that, like even during the Battle of Dathomir, I'm just gonna go back. When they have the Battle of Dathomir and they resurrect all the killed Night Sisters, very basic. They couldn't do any magic or anything crazy. All they could do was run and slap shit really, really hard. That's it.
So once you get resurrected, you're full zombie. You're
like
brainless.
Yeah, they're really being run off magic. It's not like a zombie.
More like a puppet, like a marionette sort of thing.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the perfect wording for it. Just more of a marionette. They're
so
definitely
I think
were
that's
alive.
the kind of thing that, like, again, this is nitpicky, but like then they're able to figure out how to blow open the doors at each level, right? When you think like if it was, a zombie or marionette, like they wouldn't be able to have that sort of thought process to be able to do that. They would just be stopped.
But again, all that connection goes back to the mothers.
The three are kind of like they're controlling, like Pikmin.
Yeah. So again, going back to the Battle of Dathomir, Mother Talzin was the one that was in charge of I guess you could say, the undead forces, and she would direct them where to go, what to attack. And like whenever General Grievous came on, she tried to overwhelm him with just like sending all of the undead to just try and like overwhelm them. It almost worked, but
yeah. So, but she's like giving them the energy. She's not necessarily like controlling one by one, like giving them direct orders.
No,
they're just putting
it's
the evil
like
juju
a
hive
mind.
Yeah,
it's like a hive mind almost. Yeah.
So what do you think about what I said, the inconsistency of Sabine's force powers?
Like I said, in the first episode you guys had me on, I wasn't expecting her to have force powers. It's cool that she did. Me and Chantel both were like clapping and stuff. Like, come on, Sabine.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, Meh.
Yeah, it happened
Not-
just
I'm not-
way
not-
too
I'm
quick.
not-
Like considering how much she was struggling.
Yeah,
you know, and
and
then,
'Cause
she
I mean,
fucking
once-
yeeted him, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Like I can see.
and then she helps him like open the door when they're like trying to get there.
No,
and then
she didn't do. She didn't do.
no,
shit.
that
Yeah.
was Ezra. She was
No, I know, but doesn't Ahsoka say like help him?
She attempted.
something like that.
Yeah, she attempted. She didn't do shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, she didn't do anything.
Okay.
It was cool, by the way.
But yeah,
It was cool how she killed that fuck. Okay. So, like, first off, it was cool how she killed the fucking Zombo, right? Like, she got the fucking
The
saber,
Zom-
turned it on through the head.
the Dark Trooper. Yeah.
Why was he so weird? Like, those two at the end, I thought all the troopers were from the same clone, but those guys were like
They were like
real zombies.
those
Like,
were the
"Wah."
yeah. They
And I
were,
thought that was fucking dumb.
like because you see a part of their mask get cut
Yeah.
off, right? And then you see under their mask, and they do look like
Yeah.
legitimate zombies. Like or,
So, I didn't
So
get
those
that at
dudes
all.
were dead for a long time.
okay,
That's
So
why they had
this
that
is
like
like
decay
pre-
kind of going on.
pre like
Yes.
oh, because
Like-
so those
'Cause-
the red troopers weren't dead yet. So these two have been dead for a long time.
Yeah. So because Thrawn's been there a long time.
Yeah.
So those dudes have been gonzo, and the knights the mothers have been serving Thrawn for a long time.
So they
So-
manipulated those guys, maybe like artificially
Yep.
making them more
Keeping them
powerful
alive.
because it was clear that they were stronger than the other troopers.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you see stormtroopers in black, they're
Yeah.
they're gonna be like a step above, or red. You know, you're like they're like
But it just seemed shitty or inconsistent that those two were like very like almost cannibalistic, where they were like really they looked like I'm gonna eat your
weren't-
they were
brains kind
hungry.
of.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was trying to munch you, but for me, that wasn't really the vibe I was getting. That they were like, "Hey, let me try and bite you real quick." To me, it was more like a fear and like, I guess you could say like growling and like screaming in their face. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a let me eat you.
Oh no, I was getting full piranha vibes. Dude. But it was cool seeing Sabine fucking blast his head through like that.
So I think
Yeah, we were both like, "Holy shit!"
So we knew that was the idea, was that they were gonna try to sneak onto the ship, right, and hitch a ride.
Yeah.
And obviously Ezra's the only one that makes it onto the ship.
Dumb.
And then because Sabine like fucking gives him the extra shove, with that force push onto the ship. And then we see him at the end of the episode basically show up in the stormtrooper armor. And obviously that was his disguise while he was on the ship. And then he gets reunited with
and
Hera.
that's another thing. So he just Thrawn, the fucking most masterful tactician in the whole universe, he was able to just sneak off of that ship, no problem, solo.
Yeah.
That I was like, I call bullshit on that. Like, there's no fucking way.
You could have Jedi mind trick somebody or something,
He
will
already was in
live.
the hangar. Didn't have to do much.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
already a shit ton of
Yeah,
flight
but so
vehicles there.
what I'm saying is like Thrawn's all encompassing, almost omnipotent, right? So a ship leaves when he didn't schedule one. He's not gonna go, what the fuck is that guy doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why it's
There's-
just like
How smart is this guy,
yeah,
really?
you look pretty dumb. You only sent 2 TIE fighters down for a whole fucking. You could have wiped him off the map.
For someone who isn't underestimating the
Yeah,
Jedi,
you
like
really
you've
fucking underestimated
him.
yeah, you
There
allowed
are
him to
little
get into
things
the
like that.
fight.
But anyway, yeah. Thrawn escapes. Obviously, Ahsoka and Sabine don't make it on the ship. So Thrawn escapes with Ezra hiding in the hangar in stormtrooper armor. So now Sabine and Ahsoka are stuck on the planet, obviously, along with Balin and Shin, which now we can get into that part of the show where we just everybody's like, where the fuck is Balin and Shin? I think
I was
I don't
so
know if you
mad.
were thinking that during the episode, but I think I definitely was. Chase definitely was.
Angrily.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're all like,
Otherwise.
where the fuck are these guys? And then you come to the realization, I'm the kind of guy who will check like how much time is left in the episode. And
I
I'm
did.
like,
Yeah, I
they're
did.
not going to get around to it. I was like, they're not going to fucking, they might not even show him. But you do see Balin standing on the hand of the god here, the father, right? And then you see the son off to the right here. And then this was
And then
supposed
you
to be
see the
daughter.
headless daughter.
Yeah, the headless daughter. So her head's supposed to be here, obviously, but it's gone. But he points to a mountain like in the distance.
I don't remember that.
Right here.
I think it's the mother
You think it's the mother?
that we haven't been introduced to yet.
But have we even been introduced to the other ones? Like,
Yeah, in Clone Wars.
So let's
Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, they all did their whole thing with the Mortis, where Anakin had to choose between light and dark, choose between Obi-Wan, choose between Ahsoka, and yeah.
let's watch this part of the recap real quick.
Yeah, could you screen
Mortis.
share with me? Because
Yeah,
on
I
my
got you.
stream, I'm like way behind you.
Yeah, we have like a 26-second delay or some shit like that. Did it give you the option?
Yeah, bro.
I think it prompts. Did you get it? Did you get the prompt? No.
No, nothing yet.
Zoom in.
Hold on. Let me see here.
It's no biggie if you can't get it. I'll just watch. It's just a little bit behind.
Yeah. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Let me try one more time. There we go. This one. Okay, can you see it now?
There we go. Watch. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. All right.
Carved directly into the mountain. We see the father who's pointing out to the distance, to the right, the son, and to the left, that statue was the daughter, but her head has crumbled away. There's actually a crevasse formed between her shoulder and the father, some distance between the two. So we have talked before about the Mortis gods. They are the three deities, really the holy trinity of Star Wars, celestials who come from another galaxy. Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan meet them in Clone Wars Season 3, and they return in mural artwork outside the Lothal Jedi Temple. The daughter gives Ezra access to the world between worlds, and the son's fist later destroys this portal. The father's statue is pointing to a distant mountain where we can see a pillar of light. At first I thought this was a volcano, but no, the light goes off on a specific frequency. It goes on and off, meaning it's some kind of artificial beacon. Now the full visual reminds me quite a bit of Mount Doom in Lord of the Rings, but it might just be because this father statue totally reminds me of the Argonath statues at the Gates of
What's
God.
the fucking Game of Thrones? It reminded me of like.
It gives like Mordor vibes and shit like that. Too,
Yeah,
I
could see all that.
Condor along the river. But when Balin first looked out from the fortress tower in episode 6, he looked at a mountain range that was covered in fog. And I think that was the other side of this cliffside, or maybe the start of the range that leads to that distant peak. The something stirring that Balin sensed, we now know was connected to the Mortis gods. Might have been the gods themselves, their essence living on in the realm of Mortis. And this tells us that the Dathomiri, the Zepho, whoever else was here in Peridia must have known these gods, maybe worshipped them, had some relationship with them. I believe might have gotten their power from them, that they stole Force sorcery like Prometheus stealing fire from the gods, and that they were punished for it. So I believe what the father is pointing to, what Balin's destination is a portal to Mortis. And why is Balin so connected to it? Well, notice if you look closely, that blinking light is the same fiery orange-red color as Balin's saber. And I don't think that's a coincidence. It could be a kind of mine or heart of Kyber that has crystals this particular color. And it's beckoning all Ronin wanderers looking for the pre-Jedi Order, pre-Sith Order source of all Force abilities. Now, could that pillar of light be a kind of geyser from the wellspring of life? Could it be Bendu farting? I don't know. This finale asks way more questions than it provides answers. But I do like how this shot lines up Baylan with the father, because the father represented the balance between the sides of the Force. So if Baylan is the father, who's the son? Who's the daughter? I think Shin could be the son, someone embracing the dark side, and Ahsoka then would obviously be the daughter linked with Morai. But all three of these characters are still on Peridia. Sadly, we lost Ray Stevenson too soon, but I would love to see this explored in animation, maybe in a Tales of the Jedi episode. We'll see what happens in the future.
Also,
the Eye
they
of
were talking
Sion
about
and the
casting
Chimera.
the guy that plays Sabretooth in the Wolverine. The guy that was what was that show that he was on? Oh fuck.
Oh, it was Elijah Wood. Wasn't it?
No.
Frodo
Frodo Baggins.
Frodo Baggins.
No, he's God damn, what was this show that he was on? He headed a show for a long time. But yeah, he's the guy that played Sabretooth in like the latest Logan movie. He has like a Jewish first name. I forgot what it is. Anywho, yeah, I didn't like that they just showed both Shin and Baylan just like in one stoic shot. Like,
yeah, it was one quick scene for each of them.
Yeah, and she had like the hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, like,
oh,
here we are, man. Like I'm your king now.
I do like her little band of like little samurai dudes, though.
Yeah,
those guys are cool.
Yeah, it just sucks. It's like, I know, like,
it does though. I get what you're saying.
They thought they didn't know that Ray Stevenson was going to die.
Yeah.
So,
but I think if they recast him, no one's going to be. Everyone knows they have to if they want to show him again. Mm-hmm. So if they cast him as someone close, then that will just be like, okay, that's him going forward.
Or they just CGI him in.
No,
they've done that. They've done that before.
I was going to say,
because it's yucky.
That's why the ending was so short with them, because they were trying to build that suspense to go into that second season.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, Baylan, what is this man after? And then sadly he passed away. So, because I think a lot of our, like, I really want to see what Baylan's doing, because a lot of, like, for the Star Wars, like a lot of Star Wars fans, like, we'll never see this dude again. We'll never see him in this role.
You kind of wanted to see like a cool send off or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of, like, we just wanted to see as much of him as possible.
He was,
like,
he was
including,
super fucking epic.
especially he's so badass. Man. He commanded that presence.
Yeah, I think they had no choice, because they probably finished the filming and then he died probably unexpectedly, right? And so they assumed he was going to be in the second season. You know what I mean? I think when they filmed it. So they kind of had to just, do they go, oh, do we fudge like a ending for him, or do we just like leave it as is? And I think they went with the leave it as is.
But I think there's not that excuse for Shin though. They could have
they just leave the door wide open.
Yeah.
They're just like, it was like Spider-Verse, where you're just like,
she
you get
was
to the end and you're like,
to the
oh
ship
shit, okay,
originally.
so this is just leading into like a whole nother fucking thing.
Because when they called the retreat, didn't she retreat with them?
Yeah,
so
that's
I thought
what
she was going
I
back to
thought
the
she
ship.
was. That's what I was thinking the whole time too. I'm like, is she on the ship or not on the ship?
She just fucked
and
off.
Apparently she just went and did her own. She didn't go back with the stormtroopers. She just went off and found her own way, I guess.
So the reason that she did that was because, well, they abandoned her. They said, "Peace out, we're out, homie." So they all got on their little troop transports, and then they just deuced out. Yeah. And then she just rode off.
She was just like
on her wolf. By the way, I talked to Chris about this. These wolves are too fucking too loyal, because the good guys were on their ship and off their ship so long, and then every time they needed them, the fucking wolves were there. And I was like, boo, that's so inconsistent. Like, it was about as inconsistent as when the stormtroopers wanted to shoot. Sometimes they wanted to pursue. Sometimes they just circled them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it bugged me.
They can never shoot straight. That's just a Star Wars thing.
I think that's
it's like it
could be like 100 stormtroopers and they still wouldn't take them down.
So that's cool. But then, like, when you made them zombos, give them like more menacing. Like when they were, when they were pursuing them in the tower, I was like, oh shit, that's actually kind of scary, because these guys are just fucking
They don't stop.
Yeah, they're just going. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you clarified that they were alive before, and then when they were
I wasn't
KO'd,
sure
that's when they
either.
began.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that was the case either because they seemed alive
'Cause
at first, and then they.
Do you guys remember, like, pretty much in the beginning when Thrawn came out and said, "These are the volunteers," and you made them aware,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
they said yes.
Because
So that's what
they
he
said
was
the same thing to
insinuating.
her too, right?
Basically, they knew they weren't going to be on the ship
Yeah.
at the end. They were the reason that
Yeah.
they could get out of there. They're like they volunteered to stay and fight for the
But
cause.
but the one dude stayed though. Epoch, I think you call him, right?
Enoch,
Enoch.
he doesn't stay. He goes.
He's good. He's gone.
Yeah, he goes with him.
That's even fucking worse. As a Captain
He's the-
Phantasma all over again.
Yeah, no, but
You
he's
made
got
him look
he's the
so
commander.
fucking cool, and he never shot a single shot.
Yeah, I think he'll have a bigger role in the next
But he's
season.
dead.
As long as
The
he
whole
doesn't
fucking
get a
thing
death
got
like Captain
destroyed.
Phasma, I'll be okay.
No, he was on the ship with him when they bounced
Oh no,
out.
so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't like. They never used him.
He's
at
like
all.
the commander of the whole army, so he's not gonna. I mean,
But he never
besides
gives a
Thrawn, he's
single
like the second in
command.
command. Well, Thrawn always tells him to give the commands to the troopers, so he's like the lead guy.
He's a fucking micromanager.
He's like a
He's a fucking Bill Lumberg.
no. Well,
He's a
he's
TPS
a-
report fucking
he's gonna.
bitch.
I think he'll have his moment next season. I do regret not seeing him in action.
He didn't do
this
shit.
season. I do not like that he didn't do anything like besides tell people what to do.
His name's Phantasma.
But you
I
know,
was
you
gonna
don't.
say, as long as he doesn't get the send off like Captain Phasma did, that was
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
stupid.
I keep saying her name wrong
Please,
out of
no.
disrespect.
Here I'm gonna screen share with you one more time because I want to go over this last part of the episode with you.
Okay.
I hope they talk about Anakin's Force Ghost because that
Yeah,
don't make
they do.
no sense.
Okay, you see it? Can you hear it too?
Yep.
When we're playing it.
No, I can't hear it.
Okay.
Zeb appearance. Oh, come on. Really? We end back at the Noti camp, and Sabine sees Ahsoka looking out at the illuminated rings of the planet. Sabine, though, senses something, but then she shrugs it off as
Nothing. Just shadows in the starlight.
this might be a nod to the new Star Wars
There we
book,
go.
Star Wars The High Republic Shadows of Starlight,
just
that is
came
now
out, by the way.
available today.
Really?
And there's actually a little clue in the music if you listen closely here.
What is it?
Oh my god, Kevin Kiner included a subtle leitmotif to Across the Stars, Anakin and Padme's love theme from Attack of the Clones. After Duel of the Fates, it is my favorite John Williams composition from the prequels. Across the Stars. What a perfect song title to end this Ahsoka series on. Because no other Star Wars title has taken us across the stars quite like Ahsoka has. And Ahsoka gives a little nod to the Force ghost of Anakin, our shadow in the starlight, smiling at his snips for making peace with the student that she feared would make the same mistakes her master did. Ahsoka has now learned to pass on what you have learned. Strength, mastery,
Weakness, folly, failure also. Yes, failure most of all. We are what they grow beyond. That is the true burden of all masters.
Thank you so much for making time out of your week for us these past.
Okay.
So I thought you got to be good to be a ghost. No,
I don't know. I don't know necessarily
because he
if that's the
definitely
case.
died a fucking Sith.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just cut him off.
That
Oh,
he
give
came
a
back.
fuck what you say.
I just said bye. Okay. You can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Now I have to switch the voice between our stream and our voices, so that's why it was. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so anything you want to say about that last scene where she like kind of looks off in the distance and is like, I feel something. And then she's like, never mind.
Not really about that specific part, but just once Anakin and Ahsoka like saw each other again, like Anakin Force Ghost, I had like all fucking chills and shit.
Does
I was like, oh,
Sabine
let's fucking
sense
go,
maybe
dude.
Anakin's presence? Is that what she's maybe sensing?
I
Or
think
is-
she senses something, but she doesn't see Anakin. Obviously, she's
right,
walking
she doesn't
away.
see him. Yeah, she doesn't see him, but she feels something. But is she feeling Anakin's presence, or is she feeling like something off in the distance? You know, because
I think actually I don't know about that one now that you say that, because I don't think she She doesn't have a connection with Anakin.
I
so
think,
I don't think she's
right.
like,
So
oh yeah,
what
I can
I
sense
interpreted
Anakin.
as was her connection to Ezra now that he's out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she's staring at the beams of light, and she mentions the beams of light in the way, but is she feeling like a connection to maybe the gods, like out in the distance, like where Balin's like trying to go? Like, does she feel like something from that?
Maybe that's who gave her the extra force power.
Yeah. I
To
don't know.
eat Ezra.
Who knows?
Yeah. It could be Ezra too. I mean, that's not a bad
I think it's
point either.
Ezra because she sucked ass before she got back with Ezra. Because like
Yeah.
she couldn't do shit, and then once Ezra was like in danger or anything like that, she was like a fucking samurai, fucking ninja.
Yeah.
She was so dope.
But obviously, her and like Ezra have some kind of. Well, they've been friends for a long. They were friends for a long time, right? So, like,
Yes.
But Ezra is with Hera, right?
No,
that was Kanan.
Ezra's master, Kanan Jarrus. Yeah.
Okay. So a
he's
romance
like
could brew between Ezra.
No,
and,
that's like
and
Sabine. No, I don't think so.
I don't think
they're
dude,
like
if they
brother
fucking
sister.
put a romance between Ezra and fucking Sabine, I will actually be upset.
Or even
Well,
Ezra and Hera feels weird too, because that's like mom, right? Like
they have that one
Just
scene where
that-
they're going up the stairs, and he's like, "I really missed you," or "I really care about it." Like I really missed you. You know, like he has like a moment with her for a second.
Because
he's
yeah,
been
Sabine
around
was like
crab
talking
people.
shit.
Yeah.
Because like Ahsoka was like, no, she's been training, and then Sabine's like, yeah, what's your excuse? She's like, oh, I missed you.
yeah.
So I don't know if they would brew a romance between the two of them, but I think some people
That'd
would
be
like to
so
see it. I don't
stupid.
know.
Well,
That'd be
no,
so
I
dumb.
think that's filthy casuals like me that like, or like the people that see boy and girl and they go, oh, there has to be, and I hope they don't fall into that trope because the best and most successful Pixar movies, Disney movies are ones that don't fall for that.
Right.
Don't just because there's boy and girl antagonists, don't necessarily ship them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't Travis
Yeah.
Kelce, Taylor Swift that shit.
Why? Dude, if I hear
Yeah.
if I hear that shit one more fucking time, I'm gonna find the tallest building and swan dive off that shit.
Yeet.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna Ezra my ass off.
The whole drama over that is ridiculous, but
Dumb.
So
Okay, but
tired of hearing it, man.
Wait, so the Force Ghost, Anakin died evil. So like, how can he do that? And why does
His son-
Why
well,
does
he had a redemption arc because he saves Luke, right? Like he throws the Emperor over the thing. Well, he's electrocuting. Remember, Palpatine's electrocuting Luke,
Yeah.
and Darth Vader literally saves his life by picking him up and throwing him over the railing. And so he has like that redemption where he like.
But why is he portrayed in that? Is it that
Because
the
that's
person
when
seeing it
what-
sees them in the way that they remember them? Because
No.
yeah, see, I don't get it. So why is he portrayed in his younger form, not his like fucking mangled? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because he went through
well,
a
he
big
was-
fucking transformation.
He was the original actor was in the original movie. So at Return of the Jedi, you see all the Force ghosts at the end. They had the original guy who played Anakin in that part, but later they digitally bring Hayden Christensen's version into the movie in the digital remakes, the remasters that they did. So they
Because
switch
that
him
is
out.
when he was a Jedi. That's
Yeah.
when he was a Jedi. So it's like in Obi-Wan when you see Qui-Gon Jinn, he looks the exact same whenever he got killed by Maul.
That's what I'm saying. So Ahsoka is seeing the way that she remembered him, not like
No.
because
No.
he didn't die in that form though.
That's the last she saw of him, though.
That's what I'm saying. So it
Yeah.
has to be the way that she remembered him, not the way that he
No.
is now or the way that he died.
No.
Explain.
Okay.
Okay,
So Luke never saw his father except for Darth Vader, right? So he saw
He didn't know he was his dad for a
his
while.
father, Anakin, the younger Anakin, right?
Yeah.
So when you pass the Jedi, so the last time that Anakin was a Jedi was during his younger state, right?
Yeah.
So that in
There's like a Jedi save file.
I'm trying to word this without like I'm trying to word it without like diving down a deep rabbit hole. I'm just trying to find the right words without having to go down this massive rabbit hole.
Good on you.
So pretty much whenever you die as a Jedi, as long as you had that training, which all of like that whole legacy of like Qui-Gon Jinn, all of them, Yoda, all of them became Force ghosts. Like I said, I'm trying to fucking explain this shit. It's pretty much the last time he was a Jedi is the form you take as that Force ghost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When
Like,
Obi-Wan,
it's like a
when
save
Obi-Wan,
state. Like,
yeah, because when Obi-Wan died, he was old. He was still a Jedi throughout that entire time. And when he died, that's the form he got. So hopefully, if you want to be a Force ghost, die young. You'll be young the entire time.
He wasn't technically dead, though. He wasn't technically dead, but the Jedi in him died at that point, I guess you could say. But
yes.
Super sad that Ahsoka's second saber got sliced through, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
so I don't know how they're
the
going to
form that she's
that
perfected doesn't need it, but like still.
In that recap, they said it was not that recap, but there was another one I watched where they said later they show her with the saber back on her hip again. So either she repairs it or that was just a faux pas in the shoot.
Yeah,
like
just
a
miss on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm crossing off all the things as we get to them.
What else you got on there?
I said Sabine potentially dark side. I think that was in reference to the Ho Yang thing. That she because her whole fucking family got obliterated.
Yeah, so there's always that possibility of like, because every Jedi goes through it, right? Like, you notice they always meet like the Sith side of them, Sith version of themselves, like in a vision, right? Like that's part of the like becoming a Jedi Knight or Jedi is you have to face your fear. So a lot of them see themselves as like you see Rey see herself as a evil person. You see all of them see themselves as a evil.
Hers was the most.
Hers was fucking scary.
That was exactly
with the fucking double blade that was like shunk,
Yeah.
like it was like shaped like a U, and then she just like
cool.
popped it out. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Brent? Sorry.
I was just agreeing, because Luke had to do it. Once he sliced Vader, he saw himself, and
I think.
Okay. Even Yoda had to go through it. He went to freaking was it? I'm trying to think of the freaking Sith homeworld. I can't think of it. But yeah, he went to the Sith world, and he had to fight a dark Yoda, pretty much.
He had to fight Dark Yoda. What is that in?
That's in Clone Wars.
Oh, it's in Clone Wars. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, now more and more, I'm just like, I gotta fucking watch Clone Wars now. Like, I guess I'll have the time before the next season comes out because it's probably gonna be at least a year. So
I know. I was hoping they would announce season 2 starts on Tuesday.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because this
very
really
wishful thinking.
again,
We all know how this
I
works.
was so
especially
fucking
with Loki coming out.
revved up, dude. That since this let off the gas, I was like, oh, if they would have just told us that the next season was coming, I'd have been like, okay, I get it. But now that I have to wait, I'm like, stewing in my own shit.
Yeah. That's how Game of Thrones was too, though.
But another positive though. So the ring looked cool and the destroyer looked cool, but together they look fucking sick, dude. Like when they like docked in, I was like, dude, they look fucking cool.
Chase loves docking.
I'll dock on you.
I'll go down your rabbit hole.
It was cool seeing it, but yeah, that they did make a point that ring isn't the first time we see that because Obi-Wan uses it the one time he goes to Geonosis. I think he's using it or something like that, or when he was maybe not Geonosis,
Camino.
but yeah, Camino.
Wait, I thought they
much smaller version.
Was he driving like an A-wing or something like that? I think it was.
It's pretty much just called the Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought they just constructed that this show.
Well, this one had the ability to go to that planet.
Okay,
between dimensions.
But that like design has been used before.
The ring has been used.
Yeah, hyperspace rings were used throughout Star Wars, throughout the entire Clone Wars. Yeah, hyperspace rings are a very common thing, but one of that size.
From this day forth, call your butthole a hyperspace ring. You're missing.
I mean, and usually Star Destroyers don't need the hyperspace ring, right?
Yeah, because it's so badass.
Yeah,
they can
That's why I thought it was like Omega.
But that one had the specific like coordinates to get to where they needed to be.
Yep.
What I wanted to happen. Okay, so this pissed me off the whole.
Yeah. What else you got?
The whole show. Anytime Ahsoka's ship gets fucked up, Ho Yang just goes like beep boop beep 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 and doesn't actually like repair anything. And then so what I wanted to happen was for them to actually use these crab fucking dinguses and like repurpose their ships and like put armor on. You know what I mean? Like to actually patch up the ship. Because it pisses me off that it's like it couldn't even float. And now all of a sudden it like comes to save the day in 20 minutes. Like he was able to fix that shit back to.
You're talking in real time.
Yeah, it bothered me, man. I wanted either the crabs to die.
I mean, it was just a light. It was just a quick burst, right? And then
no, because then they were in the wake of that fucking thing that like. Oh, remember? Yeah. I was like, that seems like a pretty powerful force that really would have fucked them up.
That's true. That's true.
If the ship was irreparable.
Right. Like it seemed way more damaged than it actually was.
Made me mad. Very mad.
I get that though. That there were. I think this episode felt rushed, which I was like telling Chase, like I think, like at least 2 more episodes would have done some good because that episode felt like it was pushing a lot of information to you like real quick, and I hate
or just made it longer.
Like that. Yeah, or just made it longer. Yeah, made it like an extra half hour longer or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, even that would have did.
Me and Stan both said that.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna dig my feet into the sand right now because I think they did irreparable harm to the fucking moral, not the moral, but the direction that they were going by like. So I think at the end, so the whole season, they're trying to find Ezra, right? And these 2 girls are badass together. They don't need no shit. And they save this fucking dude, and he kind of becomes the hero. Like, they make him almost like the savior to it.
Yeah.
And
well, he was
like,
the whole reason they were going there.
Yeah, but like he was so that they were going to get him and then all go back together.
Right.
So they made, it seemed like they sacrificed themselves for him, and that made him like this kind of messiah figure. And I was like, he's a fucking dork ass Aladdin. I fucking hate him so goddamn much. And they fucking, these 2 badasses who we fell in love with. He didn't even come into the picture until an episode ago. And now he's the fucking hope. Fuck that guy. Bring me, make him stay with his little fucking crab homies. They don't even speak crab like he did. Fuck them. Fuck him. Fuck off. Give your balls a tug.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, dude. I was angrily writing.
It's like, would you rather have Sabine and Ahsoka or Ezra?
Yeah. No. Fuck.
And not you feel like you
fuck Jedi Jesus, dude. I don't fuck with him. Okay.
Jedi Jesus is Obi-Wan. Period. Sorry.
Oh, that's true. The fucking Obi-Wan, the sushi chef. I'll never forget that scene. I cannot forget that scene.
But to counter your little thing,
look at Shan being sneaky.
I know, over there. Look,
I've spotted a Shan in the wild.
Did you have that pearl necklace last time? No, just kidding.
So the whole setup, I can only speak for Thrawn because there's a Thrawn movie coming out here soon, directed by Dave Filoni. And for like, because we brought up the Mortis earlier, and the breakdown, so all the people that we think are like the replacements for the Mortis, it's like Ahsoka's already had a run-in with them. So I think the Mortis is about to play. Yeah, I think that's about to be a big part coming up next season. And like, I don't know where it's going to go, but I have a good feeling that Ahsoka and all that's going to have in the Mortis. I think we're going to learn a lot about that.
Okay. When is that movie supposed to come out?
I haven't seen anything in particular, but I know like on the Star Wars, like, hey, this is what's coming up soon.
Yeah, the recaps things and stuff too.
Yeah,
talking about it. So
that's coming up. And then another show called The Acolyte, which is set way before this, way before Anakin or any of the Skywalker stuff.
Okay.
So I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Yeah, it's like supposed to have like a lot of Sith, a lot of Jedi shit going on. Like the fight between good and evil before it was like Jedi Sith.
Yeah. They were like primordial forces before they were like.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. And then I know Mando. There's supposed to be a Mandalorian movie coming out too, which I hope that's fucking true.
Ship it.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking
but overall, I mean, I would have to nitpick because I'm just going off fanboyism, and just a lot of the moments were just like, that's Star Wars. That's some good fucking shit right there.
Yeah.
So, like, just watching Star Wars, there's so many fucking plot holes. Even in the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy. Don't even get me fucking started about the sequels. Because there's always the plot holes and shit in Star Wars, which I do think need to be called out. So good job on that one, Chase. No. It's like there's a lot of things. It's like
leave it to this guy. No, but I like that. It's more of like not technically outsider's perspective, but kind of an outsider's perspective where you're just like,
well, that's why I was like, oh, we got to talk to Brent because I don't know shit I don't know my ass from the elbow in this universe, right? Yeah. So I knew like some of these things you explained away. I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But like in my own universe, like the Marvel universe, I'm a fan for sure, and I'm definitely entertained by these movies. But there are some very big inconsistencies and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying too, where you're like, I already know this is par for the course. I still like it. Like it's still my shit. You know what I mean? Like, and you can appreciate the things that are like the things that are put in there for real Star Wars fans, right? The Mortis and shit like that. Shit that I have no fucking clue about. That you're like, it gives you a nugget to fucking look forward to it going forward. You know?
Yeah.
So, and that's something
Definitely.
I think that the Star Wars community was getting shit on for years, was that there was all these fanboys that weren't getting that service sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like you're just investing yourself into nothing.
And it also just brings up a lot of questions for me too. Cause like with the Night Sisters and shit, cause like in Jedi Survivor, you meet Marin. Well, in Jedi Fallen Order, you meet Marin, a Night Sister,
right?
Who was supposed to be the last Night Sister on Dathomir. And it brings up so many things that we could talk about.
Also, one of my big questions, especially going forward too, is that like you alluded to, say like Ahsoka leaning more towards that God person, whoever you said, like the So why
the Mortis?
But I don't remember seeing her or even hearing about her in the kind of so where was she during the like Revenge of the Sith and stuff like that?
She was on Mandalore.
But Mandalore already happened, right?
No,
Mandalore doesn't get bombed till like after.
So
after
the Siege of
Star.
Mandalore was the exact same time as the Battle of Coruscant when Obi-Wan and Anakin went to go save fucking.
Okay. I think I misspoke.
Chancellor douchebag.
What I meant to say is she's may go on this journey to like find this kind of like godly force character, but like wherever Star Wars proper led off, where was she during that? Do you know what I mean? Because this is happening in the middle, right?
Yeah,
we're in the middle-ish. So if she does kind of find these like god powers, where was she at the end? Do you know what I mean? Because she isn't referenced.
Like during fucking like the sequel trilogies, are you talking about?
I guess I'm
like,
unfamiliar with how everything. Yeah,
because right now we're in between.
So we're right in between
the originals and the newer ones.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we're in between Return of the Jedi and what's the new one? The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like in the Force Awakens and stuff, she's never mentioned or anything like that, right?
In like what?
In any of the movies, yeah. They didn't go like, oh, remember when Ahsoka came back with them god powers and saved us all, or you know what I mean? Like
no, so that's why I said I'm just guessing because I don't know what's gonna happen.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Because none of this has been.
It's hard for them to shoehorn it in. Then, like that's why I am more excited for stuff like the Acolyte, where you don't have an attachment point, you can just tell a story.
Yeah.
So this is so convoluted, and you're going forward to go backwards and backwards to go forwards so often that, like, yes, I love seeing how Ahsoka's character is shaping out and her connection to Sabine and stuff like that. But I don't like, how can you make someone so badass and then they just kind of don't show up in the rest of the canon?
So for me, it's just, I think Disney royally fucked the pooch here with releasing the sequel trilogy with all this random fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
When they could
Like
have built
Snoke
off
and
what
all that
happened
shit.
after Return of the Jedi, because now they're constricted by a timeline.
Yeah.
Because now we have Force Awakens, and then all the shit in between, and now we're kind of running out of time to fit shit in here, you know?
Yeah.
So I think if they would have actually thought, like, forward planned, like, hey, we have Ahsoka coming up, we have this, and that, they could have made such a better sequel
And that's the
trilogy
thing
movie.
too, is they're fucking tied by the balls, because what are they gonna do? Not bank on Mando and Ahsoka being so fucking good, but you don't give them any fucking room to move because you're tied by that timeline. Like, so these shows are fucking epic, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, there's only so much you could do.
Well, yeah, and it's like, what happens to them down the road? Does Ahsoka die? Does Sabine die?
Because in between that time,
Thrawn dies,
and we never hear about them.
Yeah.
Again. So you're like, it's got to wrap up at some point.
Yeah, they all got to die at some point in time.
By the way, speaking of Thrawn, that fucking goodbye fuck you letter was the best.
Yeah.
It was so toxic, and I was like,
Dude, it's so crazy, that actor, man. Like, just how he, like, talks, man. He doesn't move his fucking face.
yeah,
He strictly, like, he has no eye emotion. He just moves his mouth, and he's like, dude, this dude's fucking, like,
cold, sick, yeah, cold and
Tense, man.
calculated. I would say,
yeah, cold and calculating.
That's what makes him even cooler, is because he, to me, lives up to the hype that I was given, in that, like, it isn't even personal. He has a fucking agenda, and he's gonna accomplish it by any means necessary. So when he was losing battles and stuff like that, he was like, yeah, that was expected. And he's just like cold, like he just sent people to their death, no problem. He even straight up to who's the one that gets the 4 sister powers? I forget her name. But he was like,
Morgan.
You know you're gonna die, right? She was like, yeah, I guess.
I just got this cool sword though, man. Like,
toy.
come on.
Speaking of screwing the pooch though, Reamer, I gotta switch gears because I have to ask you directly. Do you know what happened to Shorzy season 2?
Yeah, it comes out next month. It's out in Canada right now.
It's out in Canada.
It's on Crave TV in Canada right now. It comes
you gotta
out
hook up that,
this
gotta get that
actually
VPN
comes out
hooked
this
up.
month now.
God.
October 27th is when it comes out in America.
Because I was like so hyped, and I'm like, none of the cast members are talking about it. Like, what happened? I thought it was like the greatest conspiracy to ever happen. Turns out I'm just
end of this
fucking
month.
idiot.
Yeah.
Stupid
All right.
Canada.
Well, anything else to add on the Star Wars discussion? Should we close that out?
Overall, I rate this one very highly. I can nitpick it, so I'll give it a fanboyism aside. I'll give it an 8.9.
I have it higher than you, dude. This is a 9.4 solid.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.9. Just for a lot of the, cause like I said, they have so much. There's only so much they can fucking do now.
Yeah, when you're so invested in the candor and everything like that too, right? Like it's easy to nitpick things.
Yeah.
So and that last episode I think was probably the worst one out of all of them.
Yeah.
And I give it a low rating.
Yeah, but
I gave it an 8.9 because I can't see Ray Stevenson again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
And I know it's not. It's not the show's fault.
They've literally killed him off in real life.
Thanks, Obama.
If I gave a fanboy score, 10. It's a 10.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I give it a solid 9.
normal
I give it
score,
a solid 9. But I think that last episode has a lot to do with me downgrading it.
Chantel says 9.
Yeah.
Can I point something out to you guys? And this again is kind of nitpicky, but like I just want you guys going forward when you watch it to pick out the Ahsoka pose. It's kind of this head tilt. It happens every episode, at least 15 times an episode.
Yeah.
She just does this like,
Yep.
like
yep.
and it's bothering me now.
That's the Rosario Dawson thing too. I think
She's so. Make me mad.
But
Because,
I know what you're talking about.
They use it as like there's no dialogue here, so just imprint whatever you think she's thinking in that moment, and that phrase / or that like face and head tilt can reflect, like it could bounce whatever you say it is back.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, she's thinking, yeah, it's always like a stoic, it's like a head turn, and it's been driving me nuts. Only this last episode.
Jan has something.
What?
So I wanted to add that I enjoyed that they showed them going to Dathomir at the end of the episode.
Cool. Yeah.
Because that has the potential to pull in the Marin storyline.
And Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
Wait, the Marin. Oh, the one that the OG Dark Sister, the owner of the sword.
The one from Jedi Survivor.
I don't know.
She's Cal Kestis's like right hand man, kind of like they team up.
Well,
who's Cal Kestis?
Well, they're like a
from
thing
the
now.
games.
Cal Kestis from the game.
From the the redhead.
Say Street Jesus. That's Shameless Street Jesus.
Yes, shameless guy.
Yeah.
Don't call him by his pedestrian.
Yeah. So I agree that would be really exciting if they pull them into the story. I don't think they will.
They're from Dathomir, though.
I'm optimistic that they would. But I just don't think I think they would make that its own story. I think they would make that its own show.
They got the guy already. Like,
yeah, he might make an appearance. He might make an appearance like Ahsoka did in Mandalorian. But
that'd be cool.
But I don't know how long they stick around. I think it'd be a really.
What'd you say her name was? Marin.
Marin.
Is she badass too?
She's a night sister.
Oh, she's badass, bro.
Oh, she's the antithesis of him.
She's like an assassin. And she like can go invisible and shit, and she can shape.
And they hook up.
All kind of shit. Yeah. So they have
they
have magical Jedi babies. No, I don't know, but
I did think it was cool that they went to Dathomir though, because it's like Thrawn actually, because he had the wiggle room to be like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, and I'm anxious.
We
to
did
see
what I wanted to do. We're gonna go to Coruscant.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what's gonna happen with all those crates. That they brought on the ship.
I think it's all night. I think it's all Night Sisters in there.
That's the only way it's cool if it's a Night Sisters. If it's fucking dingus robots, or like the stupid stormtrooper guys, it sucks.
Dingus.
Nah, I think it's all Night Sisters.
Also, I was talking to Chris earlier today. One of my favorite. He's emerging as one of my favorite characters. The bot you keep Chopper.
Hu Yang? Oh, Chopper. Yeah.
Chopper.
I watched a bit, and I think I forgot to send it to you guys, but it was about how Chopper is actually like could be sent on war crimes because he has like the biggest death total in the whole universe. Because I was telling Chris, like in the video, they were saying that one, he sabotaged a destroyer, and if you calculated the amount of people that are on that ship, it's like tens of thousands. So he's like single-handedly wiped out. Like
I don't know. Luke Skywalker did take out the Death Star. That's a lot of people on that thing.
Well, I think he's talking in terms of droids.
Yeah.
Oh, like droids.
Oh no,
okay.
but even just like Luke Skywalker, okay, like outranked, but still one character with that high a total body count.
It would have to be droids because literally the Empire was blowing up entire planets.
Oh, word. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I just think he's fucking cool, and that he has the most attitude out of all the droids. I still fuck with BB-8 first. He's still my favorite, but second.
Fuck
is definitely
BB-8.
R2-D2, man.
I'm kidding.
Most badass. Fuck R2-D2.
I'm kidding.
Nah, I love BB-8.
I mean, BB-8's alright, but he's kind of like for.
He looks the coolest. He looks the coolest.
he just looks
Instead of fucking trash
he bounces
can.
around like a little ball too. You can kind of kick him and nothing happens. It
That's
just
the
fucking
cool.
doink, doink, doink.
Yeah, I love it. I love everything out of it. He got attitude too.
You down for a shot, Raymer, or what?
Yeah. Is that a Diva Cup?
I'm gonna end the segment, but you can stick around, bro, to close out the show if you want. Here, guys, that's it. That's the season. It's been fun. It's been real. We'll see if they, what happens in a year. God damn it!
That's how long we gotta wait for this shit.
It always takes like a year. Plus, they got Loki, but that's gonna do it for the Star Wars recap. We got Loki lined up today.
And Gen V when you do your goddamn homework, dude.
So we'll be talking about those next week. So make sure you tune in for that next week. But that's gonna be it for Ahsoka for this season. So, yeah. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for being our Jedi Master, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for being the resource. It's good having you both on.
Absolutely.
1.25 of the reamers right now. Our numbers went up. Our ratings too.
Well, I do appreciate it, guys. It's been awesome to be able to talk about Star Wars and everything, because I get a big fucking hard on talking about Star Wars. Glad I could provide some insight and make things a little bit easier to understand, because I know there's a lot of things to like pick up on. And but yeah, hopefully we get to do this again whenever the next big Star Wars thing comes out. Can't wait.
Did you watch
so excited for the future.
Well, what was the show Rogue One was based around?
Rogue One's a movie.
No, but Endor. Endor is what I meant.
Oh, that's the prequel to Rogue One.
Yeah. Did you watch Did you watch Andor?
Andor.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Fuck. Really good. Really good.
I gotta catch up then.
Yeah, not Endor. Andor.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, Endor is the Ewoks, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But again, yeah, I really do appreciate it, guys. It's been dope.
It's been a pleasure having you, sir. It's good seeing you guys as always, man. Take it easy, and I don't know. Are you gonna be watching Loki? Are you gonna be watching? Do you been watching Gen V at all?
No, I haven't really gotten into like DC and Marvel and stuff like that.
No. Gen V is The Boys.
The Boys, yeah. So it's. You never seen The Boys?
Oh,
you should check that one out, bro.
Super high recommend, bro.
You're gonna see some crazy shit.
Yeah,
I'm just giving you a heads up. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like
every episode, you're like, "What?" It's very
and
bombastic.
Avs and Knights play today, so
nice.
Just so
wait. Do you meant the Stanley Cup champs?
Yeah, they're playing the champs
Is that
today. Is that what you're saying?
That's crazy. One little cup, we have 3. But
shout out to our little cups.
Yeah, it's still preseason. But yeah, appreciate it.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
Love you, man.
Have a good day. We'll see you all.
Adios.
We'll hit you up if we want to bring you on for something else.
Yeah, for some hockey stuff too.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's a coming.
Shorzy, let's go. Give your balls a tug.
Give your balls a tug. Fuck you, Sanguinet.
All right,
Later,
bro.
guys.
Take it easy. Well,
always a fucking good time.
Yeah, it was a little bit of long, but it needed to be. We needed to. I think Chase needed to get that off his chest.
I had a lot to get off my chest.
But
no more anger notes for me, guys.
we can just hold them off till next season, I guess.
Dude, look, I want to make that a thing. Gripes of Wrath, dude.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.